Georgia is a country in the Caucasus region that lies between Russia, Turkey and Iran. Tbilisi is its capital and cultural and economic center. We started exploration in the old town that is one of the prettiest I've ever seen. It's full of cafes and restaurants and combines Georgian traditions with modern influences to create a perfect blend. The trees and little parks in combination with the cobblestone streets make it an incredibly comfortable city. The small streets and alleys with well-maintained houses make it a really nice place to just walk around. Tbilisi has just over 1 million inhabitants and is split by the Kura River into the eastern and western part. Quite literally, the name of the city translates to the place of warmth. Tbilisi is especially interesting because of numerous influences from different rulers and cultures. The old town is full of wooden houses, street art and tiny, narrow and winding streets. In the heart of the old town, we find a hidden underground market called Maidan Bazaar. After walking down a few steps, we are almost transported into a different time. There, you can buy all kinds of souvenirs and traditional Georgian foods such as teas or clothing. In the old town, we will also visit a curious clock tower that could be straight out of Harry Potter. It was constructed with so much attention to detail and hosts a puppet theater. Rezo Gabriadze built this tower over a span of 30 years out of materials from buildings that were destroyed during an earthquake. It's also a statement against soulless urbanization. We cross the river via the Bridge of Peace. This pedestrian bridge was opened in 2010. It's one of the most prominent landmarks of the city. On the other side of the bridge, we enter Rike Park. This park, right next to the river, includes biking paths, statues and playgrounds. It's also home to the bottom station of the Mother of Georgia tramway that we're going to use next. One ride costs 2.5 chel and takes only a few minutes to reach the Mother of Georgia monument. But first, we'll enjoy the great views of the city. The Mother of Georgia is a statue that symbolizes the nation of Georgia, while overlooking its capital city. In one hand she holds a bowl of wine to greet friends, in the other one a sword to greet enemies. A really cool place to visit on the other side of the river is Fabrika. This old factory was transformed into a cultural center full of graffiti and art. It hosts several restaurants and a hostel. Next, we will take the bus to one of Georgia's most important monuments. While we sit on the bus, let me explain to you how the public transportation system in the city works. What you will need is a card like this that you can charge with cash and use for buses, the metro and the funicular. You can also pay with a credit card. One ride costs 1 chel, which is around 35 cents. I always use Google Maps for public transit in Tbilisi. The buses with numbers in the 300s are the larger ones, while buses in the 500s are the small vans. A little outside the city center, we find our next stop by taking bus 360 north. Here, we get to enjoy a few quiet moments in nature away from the crowded city, and yet we get to have a great view of it. Finally, we walk the last few meters to the Chronicle of Georgia. This monument was created in 1985 but never finished, and yet it's impressive to look at with its 16 pillars that all have a height of 30 to 35 meters. The images on the top half feature stories of Georgian history, mainly about kings and queens, while the bottom half displays Christian stories. Behind the monument is the Sea of Tbilisi, which serves as a drinking water reservoir for the Georgian capital. Despite its name, it's an artificially created lake. On the way back to the city center, we'll make another stop, this time at the Cathedral of Tbilisi. It's located in a gorgeous park on the east side of the river that also hosts small churches and lots of trees. The Holy Trinity Cathedral of Tbilisi is towering over the city with majestic white stones and a golden roof. It's a steep climb but not too long, and after arriving there it quickly became one of my favorite religious buildings that I've seen in my life. The cathedral is one of the largest religious buildings in the world and was completed not too long ago in 2004. It was built as a symbol of a new beginning for Georgia, after it became independent a few years before. After marveling at the cathedral from the outside, let's check it out from the inside. I mentioned that it's one of the largest religious buildings in the world. In fact, it is space for around 10,000 worshippers. The central dome is decorated with a large fresco of Christ Pantocrator that is overlooking the visitors. Despite its size, it's actually a quite peaceful and calm place, and one you should definitely check out in Tbilisi, whether you are religious or not. We end our day in Tbilisi in the city center. Near Reich Park, from where we took the cable car earlier, we walk on 5 minutes to the Metechi church. This church is located on a small hill overlooking the Kura River and Tbilisi's old town. Finally, we visit Liberty Square, the main square of the Georgian capital. This beautiful and ample square sticks out due to its statue of St. George that symbolically replaced the statue of Lenin after the end of the Soviet Union. Of course, there's so much more to visit in Tbilisi, especially the many parks. I thoroughly enjoyed my visit to this gorgeous city and couldn't recommend you more to visit for yourself. If you want, feel free to check out my videos on Georgia's neighbor, Armenia, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed my video. See you next time.